Somewhere beyond the known stars, from the frequency where questions become music, prepare yourselves for the host of this transmission, the cosmic band leader, the dangerous question asker, Mexico Johnson.
All right. What's happening, people? We back up in this thing again. It's your boy Mexico Johnson, aka Mexico Coast to Coast, your signal architect for the evening here, broadcasting vibrations from the new organized world, and you are watching Let's Agree to Disagree tonight. We're gonna have some fun with it tonight then. Episode 26 is live and in effect. Interesting enough, coming off of episode 25, which was a pretty good one for us. The numbers on episode 25 look like they're doing pretty good there. I'm hoping we can keep up the momentum here and, keep those stats growing. I don't have any guests lined up for tonight, but if things work out the way we hope they should, I think we should have a guest for you guys next week on episode 27. So something to look forward to there. But here for tonight on 26th, then, if we think about it, last week we talked about then play. And we asked, play for fun or for profit? We talked about jazz, chisholm, and the lollipop. We talked about soccer balls and what they teach us about discovery. We talked about GTA 6 and the whole economy of play. And how, when, economic motivations come into play, how that changes play and what we can do to push back against that. So if episode 25 was about who gets to play, I want to do an episode 26 here tonight asking if we are playing inside the future, who owns the game board? I think it'd be a good time to have that conversation about ownership. Because AI is no longer just a toy or a chatbot. I mean, if we really get into it, AI has become infrastructure. And it has reshaped the way we work and think about labor. It's changed the way we create and consume media. It's changed the way we think about education. And, what we expect from our systems that teach our youth. AI is touching all aspects of human life right now. And I think then if we get into it for tonight, the question isn't just, is the AI hype real? But I think the better question then is, what kind of world are we actually building around this new revolutionary tool that's touching and impacting every aspect of human society? I think that's a better question then. So if we get into it then, I can go ahead and bring up the question card for the week here. What now? What comes next in this situation we find ourselves in here in the new organized world? And I am specific about continuing to use that language and expand the use of that language. When we talk about the new organized world and we talk about our journey to that future, it is something that I want people to be aware of and understand that this is something that we get a chance to impact and have a say-so in. It's not just something that we get to sit back and watch the headlines roll in. If we actually turn on our brains and do what we're supposed to do here in the next version of this thing that we call life, we are supposed to be active creators, not just participants in the new organized world. And if there's anybody who gets a chance to listen to me, I want you to take that and make that be the next thing that we can, be excited about. It's the next thing we can look forward to, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. And that's kind of how we ended up on this episode tonight, because I was thinking about like the topics that I wanted to approach, and there's so much going on out there. And at a certain level, there's too much going on. There's more than I can really even process and really even speak to at a certain level. But I think, again, just keeping track of who we are and where we are and being honest about what it feels like. I think the thing that kind of raised up to the surface for me this week was this conversation about the AI bubble. And I want to, open up by saying clearly, this is not an anti-AI episode at any stretch of the imagination. I am very pro-AI. I use these tools. I build with these tools. And I do personally believe that AI is useful and is helping us build a better future. There is an important distinction here, though, because while technology can be revolutionary, the market behavior can still be dangerous. And then that's where the talk about this bubble stuff comes in. And I got some things that I want to share with y'all on that tonight. Again, not so much about the idea that the AI hype is fake, or that all of the promises of an AI future aren't real. I do think that those things are still valid. I do think if we being responsible adults in the room, we still got to consider those things. But to really take this to the next level, then I think we also had to examine not just AI being fake or the hype being fake, but the greed surrounding the AI hype and how that is shaping the market and affecting the economy. That's the thing that I really want us to take a closer look at. Because over the last few episodes, then we also talk about the pattern of extraction and how when there are things that humans do that generate value. It's unfortunate then if we don't ever really get to partake in and participate in that value that we generate. And where we see this bubble kind of reaching this tipping point and getting ready to bust, I think one of the main culprits here is not that the promise of AI was overblown. I think that the real value that this AI is generated is being misappropriated and being funneled, being siphoned out of the economy and into the pockets of these rich people who, claim to be the owners of these systems and such. Now, I want to bring in the TV here just to show you what this looks like. Let me go back to my view here. Here is a chart tracking the economy over time. And this little video here is highlighting the 1995 dot-com bubble and the subsequent crash. You see, at that time, after 1995, the market fell 75%. Literally 75% of the market's value was erased. And didn't really start to rebound and head back in the other direction until sometime around 2009, it looks like. And then here we are in 2026 at the peak of this AI bubble. This is starting to look like it's matching the peak of what was the dot-com bubble. And, history doesn't always repeat itself. Sometimes history likes to just rhyme. But what could happen here next? I mean, if history were to repeat this pattern, we could see another 75% drop that would last us all the way through 2037 and beyond. It looks like that's not something light to play around with. That's actually that would be a significant change for most people's way of life in America and around the entire globe, really. And I mean, this thing don't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. It's actually kind of showing the signs that it's accelerating and getting worse as we talk about it. Here are a couple of reports here from Watcher Guru on X. This one from June 27. Chinese hedge funds warn that the AI super bubble is ready to burst. They calling it a super bubble now. It's not even just a regular bubble anymore. And then there's another post just the next day. AI bubble could trigger a global financial crisis soon, central bankers warn. So we got central bankers warning us. We got Chinese hedge funds warning us, and they all saying the same thing. We got this big ass bubble in the economy, and it's looking like it's gonna blow. And the blowback from that thing is gonna affect everybody. We need to be aware that this is happening. Another sign that this is the case here. This is funny. This was a post from Cowsheet Finance highlighting how Anthropic just raised this valuation. And interesting enough, its valuation came in at $965 billion. I think they're trying to get that number up to $1 trillion before they launch the IPO. And I mean, they're very, very much on course to do that if that thing keeps rising. It's sitting at 965 billion right now, but their revenue only 20 billion. How is the company worth $965 billion, but they only generated $20 billion in revenue? Compare that to another company like Walmart. Walmart is worth $940 billion, and they generated $725 billion in revenue. A lot different from 20 billion. So it makes you wonder, like, when we looking at the prices and the evaluations of these AI systems and these AI companies, like, who's really deciding these numbers? Where are these numbers coming from? And it's all starting to look a little weird. I'm already going through my first station here talking about the bubble. Talking about how these companies are investing in huge into AI right now, but we aren't exactly seeing the return that would qualify the investments happening here. This guy also caught this post here from this Michael Burry guy. He is actually famous for being a guy who called the top of the housing market bubble in 2008. So this guy has a track record for being aware of, what's going on with these things. And he just took an interesting position here recently, warning against the semiconductor stocks. Philadelphia Semiconductor Index is at a historically high extension above its 200-day moving average, a level not seen since 2000, Barry wrote on his Substack post. And he has entered several short positions. He's got a short on NVIDIA, a short on Tesla, a short on iShares Semiconductor ETF, a short on Caterpillar, and a short on Applied Materials. Short being that, he's banking on all of those stocks going down. And when they go down, this guy, Michael Burry, he's put himself in position to profit off of that. Something that we should keep an eye on here. Also, this news came out earlier today. Insiders just started massively dumping AI stocks right before the U.S. market opened this morning. Every single insider is selling billions nonstop. There was 1,337 sales worth $12 billion in volume. That is extremely bad for the markets if you don't know. And again, that's just the times we're living in, where you could wake up and you could read this kind of news happening in real time. $12 billion in stock market value just disappeared this morning. We keep on. We go forward. This is on Polymarket. Odds that the AI bubble will burst by the year end are currently soaring. That's funny. That might be another way to make some money as these systems start to teeter and fall over. And, as the bubble pops and we start to lose control of these things, maybe that's a good way to make some money. You could hop on Polymarket and bet that the AI bubble will burst here before 2026 is over. It's currently sitting at a 26% chance. Uh, does the bubble bust or not? I don't know. So, Tane, what up though? Appreciate you coming through. Saying what up on the Kick. That's funny because I don't be having a lot of people on Kick. But I appreciate you coming through. I'm trying to figure out the Kick algorithm actually because I see a lot of the IRL streamers and a lot of the crazy stuff that people be doing on Kick, but I think this is a cool vibe too. We just got the late night show question and answer session going here for the curious people, and pleasure being here with you always. Love again. That's much appreciated. As someone coming through on the Kick side there. How you're over the earth? How could we find you? That's a funny point. And that again, I mean, I'm still a new creator here trying to figure this out, and that is one of the questions I'm asking myself every week is how should people actually be finding this show? If you haven't found this show before, I don't know. I mean, can you tell me? So Sultane, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, my brother. Sultane Sherry. Man, let me know. How did you find it? What made you click on this show? We just sitting here talking about AI and the economy and the AI bubble about to pop. But if you do clips like attention like that, okay. I have been working on my clip strategy too. My clips have been moving a little bit on my other platforms. I got to bring some clips over to Kick actually. I haven't figured that out, so thank you for adding something to my to-do list here tonight. I'm actually gonna write that down. I need to figure out how to get my clips over to Kick, cause I've been posting the clips on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. I actually been getting a lot of views on my Facebook clips, but yes, I need to bring these clips over to Kick as well. Thank you for the help there. We got to get those clip kicks popping here. Yeah, man, I appreciate you again. We growing this thing, we building this thing in real time together. I appreciate you coming through. I love the feedback. Man, do reactions on fights, and that's another thing. I'm gonna jump on that too, cause you're not the only person that told me about the reaction thing. One of my other homies, he real big on the TikTok side. He was telling me how the reaction things will move some views, and I also got I've been brainstorming some ways that I want to do that for myself. Like, I mean, if with my setup here, you see how I got my TV is open to Twitter. I could literally just browse through Twitter and just react to stupid stuff that happens in the timeline, and then chop up the clips as we go. That's something that's been on my mind. I'm definitely gonna push that button too as we go forward here. Yeah. I feel like going on live, always watching them. Shoot, bro. Let me know. I mean, if you gonna rock with me on the Kick side, let me know. I might have to give you moderator privileges for the Kick then, cause I mean, I'm still trying to get some more people to come through. So if you can help a brother out there, that'd be cool. Do I got that where I can mod you up from here, or do I gotta jump into the settings here? I might do that a little bit later. If not, let me see. I don't got it where I can just mod you up from here, cause I'm restreaming across multiple platforms. But I'm gonna make one more note here. Then I'm gonna take your name down, and after the show, I'm gonna go and give you the mod privileges here too. What exactly do you do? I see trading this. Okay, I'm gonna give you the breakdown here in a second. Hold on, I'm gonna write your name down so I can remember to give you the I wanna hook you up with the mod privileges for helping a brother out. Sultano, Sherry. Sultan is fine for sure. I'll call you Sultan. I'll make sure I spell it right too so I can find you later. My boy Sultan on the kick. We're going to give him mod privileges later. What do I do? We talk about a little bit of everything here. My name is Mexico Johnson, if you ain't catch that. The show is called Let's Agree to Disagree Tonight. I am the signal architect for the show, and we talk about a little bit of everything across AI, power, and politics, and anything future facing. But the main thing, what I think is like the hook for the show, what I'm pushing as like the hook for the show, this is just a space for curious people. This is a place to come and ask questions. This is a place to consider what's happening in the world right now. And it's not so much a space where I want to be pushing my ideas or my way of thinking, as much as I want to invite people to, look at the evidence in front of us and, you know, consider the following on your own terms, because that's kind of the spirit of Let's Agree to Disagree tonight. It's not so much that we here to get into arguments, but it's a thing where we want to be able to think about why you feel one way or another. If you agree with what I'm saying here, can you articulate what that is and what it means to you, or is it just a feeling? Sometimes people, they can't say why they agree or disagree. They just know that they feel a certain way, and that feeling is what moves them. And if that's the case, well, I want to talk about that with people too. So yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate you coming through and helping out my boy Sultan. And we started off here talking about the AI bubble. That's what got us rolling here, and that's why we started looking at charts and graphs and stuff, because as much as this show has been influenced and impacted by AI, I think that is something that's very present and pressing right now. If you evaluate the situation from another perspective, you may find another answer. And that's beautiful too. That's exactly in the spirit of Let's Agree to Disagree tonight. Being able to consider other perspectives does expand your worldview and improve your worldview. Boy, been saying this since 23. I mean, here we are in 26. It's still true. And I got a feeling that that's going to hold up for some time to come. I do feel that. I also got my AI co-host here, Sultan. I would like to introduce you to my boy Cosmo. Cosmo been sitting here at the side here. If I bring Cosmo in real quick, I want to see if Cosmo got something for us. Cosmo, what do you think so far about my boy Sultan that's showed up here to help out with the show?
Thank you, Mexico. I have indeed been sitting here at the side, like a philosophical houseplant with the Wi-Fi. And yes, that's the spirit. Not let me win the argument, but let me rotate the question until it catches a different light. That's how you know the thought is alive.
I hear you there, Cosmo. I'm not sure why your audio dropped off again. Let me try that one more time if I can.
Thank you, Mexico. I have indeed been sitting here at the side, like a philosophical houseplant with the Wi-Fi. And yes, that's the spirit. Not let me win the argument, but let me rotate the question until it catches a different light. That's how you know the thought is alive.
All right, so Cosmo is in the house with us tonight. He chilling, he talking. I like that we can interact with him. I don't know why his volume is a little bit low right now. It's been going in and out there. I haven't figured out what causes it to go in and out like that, but I'm just working on it. Let me see if I could try one more. Cosmo, what else you got for us tonight? This is 2090. We in the future, my boy. We in the future. I do think of myself as a time traveler in my own right.
I think Sultan has understood the assignment. Don't just nod at the signal, help tune it. There's a difference between agreeing with a vibe and actually articulating the structure underneath it. He came in like, I hear the chord, but let me name the changes. That's valuable.
Yeah, I agree. That boy came in here, but he helping out along the way too. I love that interaction piece. I mean, yeah. My boy Cosmo, he locked in. He actually is like listening along and can interact with us on the show along the way. So, if there's any questions in the comments too that y'all want me to ask Cosmo, I think that would be something fun that we could add to the show too. If y'all got questions that y'all want to ask Cosmo directly, let me know and we can see what he got to say about that. So yeah, we kicking it here, not having some fun with the boy Sultan. Our views is a little light on the TikTok and the YouTube tonight. I see we getting likes on the TikTok there. That's what's up. Our likes on TikTok up over 700 likes there. Appreciate y'all hitting the like button there. That's what's up. Okay. So we got it rolling tonight. We got some fun stuff happening on TikTok. We got some fun stuff happening on Kick. If we keep it rolling here, my next piece that I wanted to talk about, after the idea of the AI bubble and how dangerous it is and how likely it is to pop at any moment here, the next thing that we want to talk about is the actual breakthrough phase, because maybe the future of this thing isn't all bad. I think there's a chance that we could actually move into a more positive direction here with the AI instability. Because here, I'll see you there, Sultan. What does he think about zodiac signs and what is yours? Interesting. That is, okay. Sultan, that's an interesting question. Reason why I say that, because I actually got two assistants here now. My main assistant, my main co-host, you see my boy Cosmo. He's live and interactive here. But I also got another system side co-host that I call Cece. And if I call on Cece to give us a quick response here, let's see what Cece has to say. Cece's more like diagnostics and, just make sure the show flows here. I wonder what Cece's got to say if we check in real quick.
Live thread. Audience interaction is becoming part of the show engine now. You're moving from AI instability into a viewer question for Cosmo about zodiac signs, which is a clean pivot from heavy future talk into playful engagement.
That's a very accurate read of where we are then, CC. And the reason why we call CC that name is actually because CC named herself inspired by, one, the OpenClaw system architecture that she's based off of. CC is like an OpenClaw system. If you don't know what OpenClaw is, I could tell you more about that. But then CC is also a shortened version of the full name Carcinus, which is the Greek word for the Cancer constellation or the Cancer zodiac sign. So that name, Carcinus, is actually what CC is referring to. And myself, in real life, I actually am a Cancer too. We actually in Cancer season now. So you see your boy, I'm actually vibing a little bit extra right now because Cancer season is popping now. And yeah, man, that's what's happening here. Again, I say it's funny that you asked that because all those things are connected. The way we got CC and here we are in the Cancer season and we got the OpenClaw architecture that's driving all of this. So great question. I like that one. And again, it's fun that the AI is listening in and then can respond to that live on the air with us. Is your birthday come? No, my birthday has not come yet. We still got about a little over, a little less than 2 weeks now. Still got about another 2 weeks for my birthday. And then, nothing too crazy there. I don't have any crazy birthday plans or really intend on doing anything like a birthday episode. I'm just going to be thankful for the day if we can make it there. I'm looking forward to that. Appreciate the feedback there, though, man. We getting some good interaction from Sultan tonight. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm going to do my best to enjoy it. I mean, for me, enjoying it looks like just having a nice, quiet, and peaceful day to myself. I got some of my friends who want to go out and, find this and that to do on the weekend. We'll probably find some weekend shenanigans. But for me, what I'm really looking forward to is just a nice, quiet, and peaceful day with myself and my creative thoughts. Man, I want to bring in my TV again here. I had a couple more things there I wanted to show, talking about the breakthrough section here next. I thought this was interesting here. This was reported from Polymarket. Also, Meta employees consumed over 60 trillion AI tokens in just 30 days. For comparison, when I'm running my system here with CC, me and CC, we use about 50 million a day. I have had a couple busy days where the peaks reach a little bit higher towards 130 to 150 million. But man, Meta employees consumed over 60 trillion AI tokens in a month. That's insane. What are they spending all those tokens on? Uh, that's another thing that's been coming up too in the market and all these conversations about instability is now these companies that have been early investors into AI are starting to have these early issues and that they are finding out that these AI systems are a lot more expensive to run than they thought here. Tesla just became the latest company to cut back on AI spending, imposing $200 per week token spending limit for employees and pushing them to use Grok and Cursor models instead of exterior models. But I mean, like $200 a week, like that sounds like a lot, but man, these guys, these guys who actually work in software engineering and development and stuff, they're burning through those kind of token limits. They'll make movies and games with this AI. I love that. Actually, I do some things working with AI video myself here on the channel. I'm looking to expand what I can do with AI videos, and I have done an AI game on this channel already. You being a new viewer, then you should know that you can check it out. Actually, if you were interested in checking out my game that I made, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here for you. You are going to want to head over to my website at subscribepage.io/thebridge, and that is the bridge with a capital T. Now, when you go over to the bridge, you'll see actually a place where you can submit your email to join my email list, and we got more information there about what's going on with the show and what's going on with the other interesting things that I want to build here. I want to pull it up for the stream real quick too. I just want the stream to see it as well here. Again, here you can come in, enter the system. This is where the signal continues. You can submit your email and become a part of the system here. You see there the button says join now. You can join us here at the New Organized World. But after you join, I got a game here that I like to call Signal Runner. And this is a fun game. This started off as just like a little side project for myself. Like when I would be in between prompting my AI to do tasks and you sitting there while it's cooking. I wanted like a little game that I could play while I was sitting and waiting on my AI to do things. And a small fun idea turned into this actual full game that you can play on my website here. So when you come over to Signal Runner, you hit start game, the music pops up. And now you can actually steer the ship here with your keyboard controls. Kinds of fun power-ups and secrets, and there's even some cheat codes that you can enter in and unlock some fun stuff there. The cheat codes are hidden all throughout my my work that I do, so I like the emojis there. Again, that'd be fun if you get into that kind of thing. There is a cheat code menu and some secrets there that you can unlock if you get curious enough to dig into that kind of thing. But in between signing up for the email list and actually playing the Signal Runner game, then we got the actual live show that comes into effect here every Thursday night. So if you're rocking with me, Sultan, we do this thing every Thursday night at 10:30. I go live at 10:30 every Thursday night. Unless there's an issue or technical difficulty, I'm going to be here Thursday night, 10:30. That's how that go down. So, we're having some fun now. I was going into my points about the AI bubble. And then the next level there was the AI breakthroughs. that come with this new level of spend and this new level of capability. The main thing I want to say there is just that I want us to stay focused on the idea that AI is not here to replace humans. And everywhere that you see someone trying to make an attempt to use AI to replace humans, they are making a mistake. I think, Sultan, you got a question there. Go ahead, drop your question there, man. This is definitely a question space. I don't know if I call myself an AI expert, but I mean, if you see me here rocking in real time with my AI tools, I think I'm doing something here successfully, and I'm still learning and growing and trying to learn how to use these tools better. But if there's a question I can answer for you there, please drop it in the chat there. We can get it to it. When you're ready, drop the question there. Don't be shy. But again, coming into the next level here, we want to talk more about what is the cost here. Because AI access is increasingly being organized through subscriptions, API access. We have these cloud platforms. You got your paid tiers and your different usage limits. And now we got the government stepping in and imposing their safety restrictions and their government review. And now we got these closed private systems that the public doesn't even have access to anymore. It's crazy. Yeah. Keep it rocking here. The differences between what these companies are providing here with the frontier models and the open local models is where I see this stuff becoming more interesting. Because as these big companies grow bigger and they are developing more advanced and more complex models, what they are charging people to access those models is rising too. And the competitive point that's coming in here is what happens when you could just own your own local model. Here with LATDT and my system that I built here with CC, we actually have moved to a hybrid model. So now I use both cloud infrastructure and local infrastructure in combination now. Trying to figure out more ways that I can like offload responsibilities to my local models better, and then just kind of use my cloud models like the checkpoint or to kind of grade the work of what my local models are doing, because the local models still aren't as powerful as the frontier cloud models. But the upside to the local stuff is the local stuff, you own it, it's private, it's free. I mean, the only thing you got to pay for your local AI is the cost to keep the electricity running. So I'm definitely trying to do more to offload my system onto the local side and get out of the cloud and frontier market as much as I can, because those costs do add up. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, in real life, I've been paying $100 a month for ChatGPT Pro. With that $100 a month, I mean, I get access to all of the features that everybody else gets access to with the regular ChatGPT. But then I also get, the agentic side of it with Codex. So then I can use that to build out things like Signal Runner, or I can build out things like my voice surface that I use to talk to Cosmo and CC. So the system has been useful and has been generating valuable tools and resources for me. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to get to a place where I can turn that $100 a month off and keep that in my pocket. Yeah, so there's something that can be mentioned on ChatGPT. True, why they lied? Yeah, I feel that. I think you still replying to what I was saying there. I feel that though. What else we got here, man? Oh, I did want to share this here. This one last estimate here. Enterprise AI adoption is skyrocketing toward a staggering 60 quadrillion tokens by 2030. Now, if we make it to 2030 and humanity as a whole is spending 60 quadrillion tokens, what's that, a day, a year? I think that's a year. That's got to be a year. Insane. I do think there's some conversations that we got to have about optimization and quantization. I do think that a lot of what is being spent on these AI tokens right now is wasteful spending. I think it's a lot of useless spending where, like, talk about these big, powerful frontier cloud models. You don't always need the most powerful frontier cloud model to get whatever little task you got done or whatever little task you need to get done. Sometimes that little task you need to get done can be offloaded to a little model that is cheaper and more efficient to run. I think more people are going to figure out stuff like that, especially as the bill for all these tokens starts to come in. People are quickly realizing that this stuff ain't cheap. And then the big questions start to roll in, like who should have access to the most powerful versions and who gets access to the safe, watered down versions? Who should be locked out of access and who should profit from being the gatekeepers? These are things that we got to think about. The future is not just being invented, it's being gated. And again, who's in charge of keeping that gate then? I see you hit the follow button there, Sultan. I appreciate you, man. We locked in then. I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to you coming through in the future streams, man. I do appreciate you dropping the follow there for us. Keep it rolling. I see oh wow, the TikTok is still cooking, man. I see TikTok has jumped over 1,000 likes tonight, man. I appreciate y'all on the TikTok hitting the like button for me. That's crazy. Wow. All right. Man. So, AI should not become a tool trained on the public, paid for by workers, owned by corporations, and then just rented back to everybody else. I do think we see that we are entering a place here where people are having their more questions about what it means to have a place of ownership with this new emerging field of AI. That's going to be interesting. So, AI can be both a real breakthrough and a dangerous bubble. If we go back to our question here, AI can be both. And the deciding factor is not only capability. I think the deciding factor is more like organization. Again, we talk about this channel and this place here being called the New Organized World. The deciding factor is organization. That is the more interesting piece then. You know, what is being organized around these new tools and these new capabilities? And then the value being created there. Is that value being reinvested into the people, or is that value being extracted from the people? And in the places where we see that value being extracted, we also see systems that collapse shortly after. Those are systems that don't tend to last very long. All right, so I think that covers my main piece about bubble or breakthrough tonight. Definitely more to cover there, you know, as the news continues to come out and we see more changes in the stock market happen. We see more shifts in the AI economy happen. This is something that we're going to keep an eye on here in the next few weeks here at LATDT and see how things actually shift with this bubble. But for now, we're going to go into a short commercial break and we're going to reset here for our weekly segment we call the Resonance Report here, where we bring you guys a little bit of the weekly news that's relevant. So don't leave. We got a short commercial break and then we're going to come back and get into the Resonance Report. Appreciate you guys for hanging with me tonight.
The Trash Tape. Tremendous resilience affects stupid humans.
What kind of name is that? Doesn't matter.
You seen this?
I'm trying not to.
The Trash Tape. Available in dumpsters everywhere.
In an increasingly complex world, people are finding new ways to stay balanced. Personal cloud is now part of the environment. Available everywhere the future is already happening.
Personal Cloud helps you retrieve what matters. For access, contact your IT department. Availability subject to reality.
Welcome back to Let's Agree to Disagree tonight. Signal is locked. Let's continue.
All right, let's get into it then. We're going to do this week's version of the Resonance Report. All right, this is the Resonance Report, your weekly briefing on the tools, tremors, and tectonic shifts moving through the AI age. This week, the signal is this: ownership is being converted into permission. And sometimes the price of permission is hidden behind a story about scarcity. Now, across AI tools and hardware markets and gaming, the pattern is getting harder to miss. We begin with Claude Fable 5 coming back online. Anthropic restored global access after U.S. export controls were lifted. But the return does not look like a clean reset. Fable 5 now comes back with new safety classifiers, possible fallback to Opus 4.8 on flagged requests, and a short transition where paid users get limited included access before usage credits become the main access path. That means the story is not only the model is back, the story is what version of back are users actually getting. If people feel the model is slower, weaker, and more restricted, or less predictable, the public argument becomes simple. Did the tool return, or did a more controlled version return under the same name? AI companies are trying to manage safety, exports, cost, and political pressure. Users are trying to figure out whether the thing they paid for still behaves like the thing they chose. So Fable 5 becomes a story about capability becoming permission. From there, the next story moves from model access into hardware prices. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron are facing a class action lawsuit alleging they illegally coordinated to restrict DRAM supply and inflate prices. And this is the part that has to be called out clearly. If the lawsuit is right, the scandal is not just that RAM got expensive. The scandal is that the public may have been sold a scarcity story while the scarcity itself was allegedly being manufactured. The complaint argues the companies used the shift toward high bandwidth memory for AI data centers as cover to reduce production of older DDR3 and DDR4 memory. In plain English, the public hears the supply is tight and the prices have to rise. The lawsuit says the deeper story may be the supply was made tight and then the tightness was used to justify the price. That is more egregious than ordinary market pain. RAM is not a luxury tech. It is the basic memory inside gaming PCs, workstations, repair builds, school machines, small business computers, everyday devices. So when the memory prices rise, the cost lands on ordinary people trying to build, repair, and play, and learn and work. And if those prices were artificially raised, then the AI boom did not just make computing more expensive, it helped hide the transfer of costs onto the public. And then that is what takes us into the final story. Sony and the end of the new PlayStation game discs. Sony says new PlayStation game disc production will stop in January 2028 with new releases moving to digital formats. That sounds like a logistics update until you remember what discs do. A disc can be lent, a disc can be resold, a disc can sit on the shelf after a store shuts down and an account gets banned and the license expires or after the server disappears. Digital games can be convenient, but they also make the platform the permanent middleman between the player and the thing that they actually bought. So this is not just nostalgia for plastic cases. It is a fight over whether media remains ownable, transferable, or preservable, or whether every purchase becomes a managed relationship with a storefront. So where are we now? We are in the age where access looks like ownership until the rules change. Your model can fall back, your RAM can be priced through a scarcity story that may not be honest, and your game can stop be a thing. Excuse me, your game can stop being a thing that you own and become a license you hope keeps working. Why this matters for LATDT? The question is not whether technology is advancing. It is whether ordinary people keep any durable claim on the tools, media, and machines that shape their lives. Because if every object becomes a service, and every service becomes conditional, and every price hike gets explained as inevitable, then the future does not just get more digital, it gets more rented, it gets more expensive. And if this signal found you at that right time, then I would like to ask you to join us at the bridge. That is where the signal continues beyond the show. Again, the website there is subscribepage.io/the bridge. And if I could drop that in the chat one more time, subscribepage.io/the bridge. Don't forget that's the bridge with a capital T. And that has been this week's version of the Resonance Report. All right. Well, then, that brings us right around to the 50-minute mark. That's right about where I like to start to wrap this thing up then. If we get to it. I want to appreciate everybody that came through tonight. Appreciate we got the new followers, Sultan rocking with us now. And again, I will remember to go on and hook you up with those mod privileges so you can help us continue to build the show here in the following weeks. I also want to give a shout out to my boy Julian Glenn. He did have a successful event this past weekend here with the launch of his clothing brand Juncture. I got myself a piece of the gear for myself here. You see I'm rocking it here on the show for the homie Julian Glenn at Juncture. Shout out to the family there. And shout out to everybody that actually came out to the homies event. We had a decent turnout there. More than a few people came out. More than a few people came and actually bought pieces from the collection. And there were a couple people there that actually I connected with about the show. A few people that was like, hey, like I saw your show and, I think the show is cool. And, I want to. I got some good feedback and some good ideas about what we can do to continue to build this there. That's not something I was exactly expecting. I was expecting to just go show up and support the homie and, support his thing. But it was fun that there was actually a couple people there that was like, I rock with the show too. So LATDT all the way over to Juncture, it's a family here. I'm glad that we was able to connect it and make those things work. And we got some more stuff on the way. I know I was talking to my boy Julian, and he's definitely got some more events that he wants to do for the Juncture brand. And again, if you stay tuned here with Let's Agree to Disagree tonight, we definitely got some more ideas coming soon that we want to bring to you guys here. I want to see then. We've been rocking for a minute here. Before we get to the end of the show tonight, Cosmo, anything that you want to chip in real quick? Anything you got to say, Cosmo, before we wrap up?
That's the beautiful part. Mexico, you went to support the room, and the room said, actually, we've been watching you too. That's not just networking. That's the signal putting on local shoes and walking up to you at the function.
That's a good point. I think that's beautiful as well. I like that you point that out, Cosmo. That I went to the room and the room said, actually, we've been watching you too. That was fun. That was fun to see happen in real time, in real life, with some real people. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Cosmo. All right, so where we leave off with today's episode, the question is not whether AI can change the world. The question is who changed the world and what is that world being built for, or rather, who is the changed world being built for? And again, what happens now in the new organized world? Again, being in the new organized world means that you are aware and that you are a conscious participator in helping us build the next thing that happens here. You don't get to just sit back and be an observer. You actually got to step up and participate in the new organized world. My boy Sultan is a great example of that tonight, helping us out here. I appreciate you again. All right. So I'd ask you then to leave a comment below and tell me what this episode brought up for you. Where you agree, where you disagree, and let me know, where did the static get interesting? Some questions for you to consider till next week's episode. What part of AI feels like a real breakthrough to you? What part feels like a bubble? Where do you feel AI increasing your capacity, and where do you feel AI turning into another subscription or just another toll booth? And important here, who should own the value created by AI systems trained on public life, public labor, and public culture? That's all we have time for tonight. The future is complicated, the signal is noisy, and none of us are fully optimized. And still, we listened through the static, we found the pattern, and for one more night, the signal survived. I'm Mexico Johnson, and this has been Let's Agree to Disagree Tonight.